Most golfers dream about becoming scratch, but almost none actually build a real plan to get there. I'm a 4 handicap now, and I've got just 6 months to reach 0. In this video, I'm giving you my entire game plan, what I learned from my golf lesson with Bob Lohr, how a club fitting at the IMG Academy absolutely transformed my bag, and how I'm training my body, fixing my mental game, and dialing in my short game to get rid of those double and triple bogeys for good. And I'm showing you every shot here today at our local muni, Bobby Jones, so you can copy what works and level up your own game.
All right, now the key to get down to becoming a scratch golfer by the end of this year is to eliminate these double bogey and beyond holes. Okay, I've gotten plenty double bogeys, triple bogeys, quadruple bogeys, but the way that I come about getting those is I usually hit a ball on a hazard or out of bounds on one of those holes. So there's a road right down the right side of this first hole. One nice thing about golfing with me, you always get a breakfast ball. So I'm gonna go driver with my first shot, just knowing that this is the only shot of the day where we got a little bit of a backup plan. And that is a duck hook left. It's gonna be in play over there, but we'll go ahead and hit the breakfast ball. There we go, I hit that one good. Landed on the cart path. The main thing is both of those are in play though. We avoided out of bounds. My goal today is the 1 ball rule. If I'm going to become a scratch golfer by the end of the year, the goal is to finish the round with the ball I started with. It's windy. We're here in the thick of this weeds and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot my yardage here. 129. That's a nice 52. But because it's windy, I'm in the rough, I'm going to take a gap wedge and choke down on it. See if we can crank it up there on the green here. All right. Hit the tree and went down left there. All right, we advanced the ball a few yards. It's like a running play in football. Still in this crazy rough. Got about 108 to the pin here. All right, right on the center of the green, right where I aimed. I played with a PGA Pro over the weekend in Orlando. Shout outs to Tom Fowler. That's one of the pieces of advice he gave me, was just stick to my pre-shot routine. No matter what hole I'm on, no matter where I'm at in a match with somebody, no matter what the circumstance is, whatever my pre-shot routine is, just stick to it and don't deviate from that. So what inspired me to set this crazy goal of being a scratch golfer by the end of the year is I listened to this audiobook by Benjamin Hardy, and he talks about setting an impossible goal. When you set an impossible goal, which for me is to become a scratch golfer by the end of this year, I moved the timeline up to the end of this year. So it made me think, well, what do I have to do to actually be a scratch golfer by the end of this year? And so throughout today's video, I'm going to share with you what I've been doing and what I'm going to be doing in the weeks ahead to accomplish that goal of being a scratch golfer by the end of the year. One of the things that we did is we just got a golf lesson. It was amazing. It was out in Orlando. And so in today's video, I'm going to recap what I learned from my golf lesson and how it's already been a game changer for me. Another thing to become a scratch golfer is you have to eliminate those 3 putts or really minimize them. So what I'm going to look for here is which way it's going to go, which is left or right, and is it downhill, which is downhill a lot. Slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. All right. Not bad, it broke a little more than I thought. So now we got a nice little tester for our opening bogey. All right, woo. One of the main things I'm going to emphasize in today's video is how can I avoid these double bogeys and beyond. So that would have been catastrophic to start off on the first hole with a double bogey. But we survived with the bogey after hitting that tree on the second shot. One big step that we took on this journey to be a scratch golfer by the end of the year is getting fitted for new clubs. What I liked about getting fitted for clubs is it was brand agnostic. Titleist driver, a Callaway 3-wood, and then the hybrid's a Cobra. Then the irons are Ping, and then the wedges are Titleist. So it's all different clubs. Part of what I've done to become a scratch golfer was change the equipment. So we've checked that, checklist. Now the next part is going to be my decision making and my play out on the course. Second hole here, same thing, out of bounds right, white stakes, don't want to go there. We can go as far left as we want. Going to take a hybrid and just try to crank it out in the fairway. All right, that was perfect. Except it hurt my fingers so bad. All right, that's a good drive. On this hole here, I'm noticing there's a fisherman out there. I don't want to hit him. Welcome to a local muni, all right? This ain't your local country club. We have out of bounds right. I definitely want to aim middle of the green or left of the green. I don't want to flirt with right at all. I've been there too much. Be the number, baby. All right, it came up just a hair short. There's a lot of wind up there, but it's right at it. Another tip to become a scratch golfer is to track your misses. My misses with chips are chunks. Know your tendency, know your misses, and work on those. So here's how I'm gonna work on this. Take 3 practice swings with your left arm when you're chipping, and that's gonna help you avoid chunks. So that's my pre-shot routine. I take those 3 practice swings with my left arm, and I'm thinking, don't chunk it, just hit it up there, and try to get the up and down here. All right, so that's perfect distance. Right up by the hole, I didn't chunk it. See if we can tap it in for our first par of the day. Oh man, it was straight like my caddy said, Josiah. All right, let's just see if I would have hit it straight like Josiah told me to. Then I would have had a Parmesan. Bogey, bogey on my video about being a scratch golfer. We got plenty of holes to get some birdies, maybe an eagle. All right, it's 165 to the front, 200 to the back, 193 to the pin. Gonna go with a nice comfortable 7-iron here. What am I gonna pay attention to with course management? Where's out of bounds? To the right. Definitely don't wanna be in there. So we're gonna aim right at the center of the green. Nothing fancy here. I hit that pure as you can be. Catch the green. So we are putting for the birdie. First time of the day, putting for bird. I'm behind the hole right now, and I'm noticing this putt is actually extremely difficult because there's Mount Everest in between me and the hole. This thing is a gigantic undulation. I'm gonna have to really pay attention to my speed here because I'm gonna have to putt it up this hill, and then once it gets to the crest of this mountain, then it's still uphill from there to the hole. Go, 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 go. All right, that was a 9 out of 10. That was solid. All right, first par of the day. We hit a green in regulation and we got a 2-putt, and I'll talk more about pre-shot routine on the next tee box. I had 2 quality pieces of advice about my pre-shot routine, or lack thereof. The first one came from my video editor. He edits videos for a lot of really good golfers, and he's like, I noticed they are really serious about their pre-shot routine because I'm like talking to you while I'm doing my pre-shot routine. Do your talking like in the cart or before you hit. When you do your pre-shot routine, you'll hit the ball better. I'm gonna shut up and show you my pre-shot routine with no talking, and then I'm gonna try to just execute that on every shot throughout the rest of the round. All right, absolutely crushed the draw. Down the left side. Thank you, video editor, for pointing that out. That actually worked. I schmammered that. 139 to the pin on a par 5. That's what you call absolute crush drive. The wind was behind our back. I did my pre-shot routine and I hit that thing as far as I could hit it. I'm gonna hit this gap wedge here, which is about my 150 club. We're able to hit the par 5 here in 2 if I can knock this on the green, so that would be awesome. All right, baby. That is all over it. Putting for eagle. Do you see those weeds there?
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't in grass. It was in like weeds within grass. So I really had to take a nice swing there. And if you're wondering, you gotta take care of your local muni. That's saying, does that look like Lido Beach or Siesta Key? It's better to fill it in the fairway, but I used to have a lawn care business for 10 years. I don't wanna bore you with the biology of grass, but put the sand in your divots. Okay, so we've never actually got an eagle on the channel, and this is probably our most closest look.
This is pretty close.
Woo-wee! We're gonna do the same routine. We're not gonna do anything different, even though this is for eagle. We're gonna look at it from both ways. We're gonna do our pre-shot routine with the putt here, see if we can make an eagle. So far, I don't see it breaking too much either direction. Josiah's not seeing it break much either. One thing my golf coach said growing up is never leave an eagle putt short. Oh! would have been the first eagle on the channel. That's our second lip out of the day. Tap in birdie, baby. Oh man. All right, well, we played that hole good. After doing the pre-shot routine, crushed the draw, of course the wind's helping. Gap wedge on a par 5, that's always nice. And then we lip out the eagle. That knocks us down to +1 on the day. All right, just finished hole 4, Josiah. We almost got the first eagle on the channel.
Yes, you almost had it. That thing literally just danced around the cup right there.
The wind that was just helping us on this next hole is going to be straight into our face because we're going back that way for another par 5 here at good old Bobby Jones. So during my golf lesson with Bob Lohr about how I can be a scratch golfer by the end of the year, he says you have to train like an athlete. He talked about nutrition, talked about sleep, he talked about training and working out and core exercises and cardio and everything I should be doing. I'm not sure if this is too nutritious because it's got a whole bunch of sugar in it. I was going to have a snack out here on the golf course, and it just made me realize that if I'm truly going to reach my impossible goal of being a scratch golfer by the end of the year, I'm going to have to also take care of my body. And a challenge to you, if you want to become a better person and a better golfer, we should eat healthier, exercise better, more effectively, get sleep. There's a lot of trouble up by the green with water and out of bounds. So we're just going to try to put this one in the fairway. We'll make our decision from there if we're going to try to get home in 2 on this par 5. Duck hook left, but that's going to be all right. Well, that brings up a good point. Analyze your misses and get better on your misses. That's my second time today I hit a strong duck hook, and I'm gonna give myself a little bit of grace. If I took this glove off and showed you what my thumb looked like with a chunk of it missing, it's pretty scary looking. So because I have this hand injury, it hurts when I apply pressure on my grip. So I'm kind of holding the club like I would not normally hold it. So that's what's causing, I think, the duck hooks today, because that's 2 of them. But at least I'm paying attention to the pattern, and I'm recognizing that my miss today off the tee has been a nasty hook left. If I wanted to be a hero and go for the green here, I'd have to hit it over the water, but if I pull it to the left, it's gonna go in the water and be a hazard penalty. One thing I'm doing to have better course management is I'm gonna take my medicine, I'm not gonna hit a hero shot, and I'm just gonna hit it back into play, back onto this hole, and then we'll try to hit it on the green from there, 2-putt and get our par. Straight as an arrow, back on our hole, mission accomplished. All right, we got 175 to the pin. There's out of bounds long. I'm gonna take a 9-iron, which I know I'm not gonna hit over the green out of bounds. There's water left, there's water right, so an accurate shot here is pretty important. There's a lot of wind right to left, so I'm gonna aim a little bit right, try to knock this up there. All right, push that to the right. We're a little short and right, so we're gonna have to get a chip and a putt to save the par here. Getting it up and down here would be incredible. I'm gonna make sure I clear that bunker there and get it onto the green, and ideally we want no double chips. We shall see if we can get the up and down here and save par. Oh man, that took a nasty bounce left, but that was pretty good. We got a putt for the par. I'm still pretty happy that we decided not to go for it on that second shot, because it could have turned into a blow-up pull if I would have hit that second shot into the water. Because we made that smart course management play, the worst that's gonna happen here is we get a bogey if I miss this. Oh no, I crushed it. Here I am talking about the worst I'm gonna get is a bogey. Josiah warned me it was downhill. One of the rules of Tiger Woods is no 3-putts. He also has a rule, no bogeys on par 5. So we already broke that rule, but we don't want to break the other rule. All right. It's not fun getting a bogey on a par 5, but it sure ain't fun getting a double or triple. So let's move on to the next hole and just stick to our strategy. I'm gonna take this club here and I'm gonna aim a little left and just put it in play. It's a safe shot. I don't mind going a little left. Want to just keep it out of bounds. All right, I cranked that, faded just a little bit. Should be in the right side of the fairway. There's no sense of me hitting driver here because it would bring out of bounds into play. I hit this thing pretty safe. I aimed left, I pushed it a little bit, but still in the fairway. Although I'm gonna check the actual yardage to the pin, I wanna kinda know what is it to the front of the green, what is it to the back of the green, and ideally, my goal is to hit it on the green, so that just kinda helps me have a nice range. I got a 56 degree here, so I'm gonna play it at about 90 yards. My goal here is to just knock this on the greens. Perfect contact. All right, I avoided the chunk and I hit it to about 20 feet. Mission accomplished. So another one of my struggles is 3-putts. Tom Fowler is one of the best putters I've ever played with, and I really enjoyed watching him kind of analyze these greens. I'm actually thinking about making this putt, but most pros are not gonna make this putt. It's more than 20 feet away. But my goal is, if I could imagine like a little 3-foot circle around the hole here, this putt ends up in that 3-foot circle because I feel like I can make it from 3 feet and in. All right, perfect. That's in that little 3-foot ring, and I'm okay being a little short. So we hit the green in regulation, fairway in regulation, 2-putt par. If we did that all day long, we'd be at scratch golf. All right, so mastering course management starts off the tee box, and here there's water all the way down the left side of the hole. I'm taking a 7-iron off the tee. That doesn't sound sexy or big and buff and I'm gonna win the testosterone award. My goal here is old man par. Just play each hole to get a par. I'm gonna aim out at that bunker that's 208 yards away. If I go a little bit right, I'm okay, but I do not want to go left because that's where trouble is. All right, I pushed it a little right, but we can get on the green from there unless the tree's in our way. That was a bad swing, but it ain't in the water. So we have 120 yards here, but we have a tree in the way. I'm gonna take my 57-degree lofted wedge here. I'm not sure if I can hit it that far, but my main concern is making sure I get it over this tree. But this one with this wind's gonna not be enough. So I'm gonna go with the 52. All right, let's see how this ends up. I think it went in the bunker. It got knocked down by those leaves and branches at the top of the tree. We can get an up and down at the sand. I've been practicing out of there and I'll show you what I've been learning to become a better sand player. If you started watching my channel when we started, I was horrible out of the sand. I've been practicing a lot. And that's one thing Bob Lohr, who gave me the lesson, I was like, I want to be a scratch golfer. He's like, well, how much time are you willing to put in? And so practice is so important. So I've been practicing out of the sand a lot. So when I get into the bunker, I take a much wider stance than I used to take. Number two, I put my weight a little bit on my left foot. And then the most important thing about hitting out of the sand, I used to decelerate. So I used to hit the sand and kind of stop. Now I hit the sand and I accelerate through. I decelerated like a joker. I mean, that was just pathetic. Spin. This has been a disaster of a hole all the way around. That was called humble pie. Those are 2 horrible bunker shots. I'm back to Tiger Woods' rules of golf, where he says no 3 putts. This is not the easiest putt because it's downhill. It's going to be pretty slippery. So I got to stay dialed in here on getting a 2 putt, even though it's going to be a double bogey. I don't care. Let me in, baby. Let me in. All right, that was a great recovery shot. If I'm gonna get to scratch golf by the end of the year, these double bogeys are gonna have to be in the rear view mirror, but at least I didn't get a triple. I'm gonna throw a bunch of balls in the sand trap. I'm gonna work on the fundamentals. I know what to do, but just accelerating, hitting through the ball and working on that. Tough hole there, but let's bounce back. Let me introduce you to a 200-yard par 3 with heavy wind right to left. I'm gonna hit a 6-iron. I naturally hit a draw and the wind's going right to left. So I'm gonna aim right and trust that the wind's gonna do its thing and bring the ball back. I hit that really good. Okay, I hit that so good I think it might have went over the green, but that was going right at the center of the green. It actually carried the green. All right, I was in casual water over there. So the ruling is I move it out no closer to the hole. Getting it up and down like this is going to be a game changer. So I picked a 52-degree wedge. I feel like I hit this better than my 57-degree wedge. I'm just going to do my pre-shot routine of taking 3 practice swings with my left arm. Just take a nice aggressive chip here. Go. Oh man, I got robbed on that bounce. I thought it was going to be so good. This looks like it's breaking left to right. See if we can roll in a putt. Nope, misread. A double bogey followed by a bogey. That's upsetting. All right, we are on the 9th hole here. I'm gonna go ahead and hit driver, try to crank it out there in the middle. One thing Bob Lohr taught me in my lesson is finish my swing with a pose, because when I do, my balance is better. 3rd duck hook of the day. My drives today have not been normal, but in golf, you might have an element. You might have something going on, and we just gotta grind it out and work with it. So this has been a big test mentally for me today. My ball's not out of bounds or in any hazard, so we'll go up there and reassess from there. All right, I'm gonna take a little extra club here because I'm in a funky lie. This is kind of like soft sand, and then there's these big weeds behind it. Not ideal. I'm gonna choke down and try to take a little more club on a 7-iron here, about 188 yards. Kick left, baby. Kick left. Kick left. Ah, went in the sand. I shouldn't have hit my tee shot over here, so we're gonna go practice our sand shot game now. So what scratch golf looks like is being able to get this ball up out of here, you know, have yourself a manageable par putt. I'm gonna take my wide stance, ball on the left foot, and I'm gonna accelerate this time. Just like that. All right, that was a great shot. Let's go. Come on, somebody. Study your game. Study your miss. Now we have a, you know, about a 5-6 footer for par. Pre-shot routine on the putt. I'm lining it up. I don't see it doing too much. Oh,
my word.
That's the third time today we lipped out. I ain't mad about it. That sand shot out of there to 5-6 feet. I'll take that all day long. So that was a disastrous front nine. Even though I played like crap, I'm acknowledging what do I need to work on. I hit 3 drives that were duck hooks. So I'm acknowledging that, and I'm honestly not worried about it because I know it's my left thumb. I just know that's an easy fix once my thumb heals up. Let's go see if we can play some good golf on the back nine. Now it's a test to stay calm, not to get a temper and get all bent out of shape. I'm gonna try to bounce back here. We haven't got a par in a while, and just get a par birdie on this hole. That's a pretty easy hole. We should get a par better on this one. Absolutely crushed that, Josiah. I could not hit a 3-wood any better than that, I don't think. I just absolutely crushed that. The wind at our back. That was a beautiful shot. That builds a little momentum right there. That sounded good, looked good, felt good. I liked everything about that. We hit that 3-wood over the green on the 10th hole here at Bobby Jones. Back to working on our weaknesses. On the front nine, I had some bad chips. This back nine, we want to chip better and have no double chips. This is for eagle here. It'd be awesome to get an up and down from here because that would be a birdie. Okay, go in, baby. Oh, my chipping today has been horrendous. When I have my next practice session, and that's something Bob Lohr, when I asked him candidly, how do I become a scratch golfer by the end of the year? It's like, how much work you want to put in? I work probably about 50 hours a week, but at the moment I don't have a wife and kids. So it's like, I can practice in my free time. I'm acknowledging that my chipping, which used to be pretty good, hasn't been good today. So I'm gonna have to put in some work on my chipping. But in your game, acknowledge what needs improved and then just practice on it. Like Allen Iverson said. All right, we have a left to right birdie putt here. It's gonna slide pretty much left to right. Now that's on the low side, but we bounced back after an amazing drive over the green and a bad break on the chip. This round is not going the way I wanted it to. My thumb hurts, it's windy, I'm hungry. I have all kinds of things that I could have probably done a better job in preparation and not put myself in this position. But here we are, this game is so mental. Back to what I learned in my conversations with Tom Fowler. Play for old man par is what he calls it. So this is a par 5 and I'm busting out a hybrid because the wind's pushing to the right. And show him, Josiah, there's out of bounds all the way down the right side. I can still get home in 2 with the hybrid. My goal here off the tee is just make sure my next ball is in play and not out of bounds. Absolutely crushed that thing down the middle. Let's go, baby. Man, that's back-to-back monster drives. This is 170. The wind's helping us a lot. That's part of why these last 2 drives I went so far, the wind was at our back. So I'm gonna hit a pitching wedge. This is a par 5. It's 170 to that pin. That's going a little left, kick right, kicked right, kick right. Should be pin high left. I can't remember if there's a bunker over there or not, but I feel like I hit that about 170 yards. I just yanked it a little bit. All right, so we're chipping for eagle. I'm gonna use my 52-degree wedge. This is a relatively easy up and down. This is where scratch golfers are gonna execute on this more times than not. Bite, bite, bite. That was not a good chip. I'm gonna have to practice chipping, but nevertheless, we have a makeable birdie putt up this hill. Well, we got a tap in par. We got 2 pars. We're even par on the back 9. So I am going to hit driver here and just be mindful that there is a little bit of a hazard to the right. It's not humongous, but all my misses today with my driver have been duck hooks to the left. If I happen to duck hook this to the left, and again, I don't want to gross you out, but I have a chunk missing out of my left thumb. When I'm holding my driver, it hurts. So my grip today has been like, what can I do for the less pain? It's gonna try to knock it out there. Okay to miss it a little left. Hit a bomb. Crushed it. Nice draw. That was a good shot. We got 80 yards in my game, which might be different than yours. This is a shot I used to chunk a lot. My focus on not chunking an 80-yard shot is I'm gonna take a pretty wide stance like I'm hitting a driver. Being 80 yards away, I'm just focusing on posing and finishing the swing here. That should be pretty good, Josiah. Oh yeah. Middle of the green, all in all, that was a big success. Just acknowledging my own game, I used to get a lot of 3 putts. One thing that's helping me, and I'm still not a good putter, I'm trying to really calculate the speed of the putt, the length of the putt, and paying attention to if it's uphill or downhill. So this one's slightly downhill, and then it's gonna break right to left. Come on down, baby. Come on down. Missed it on the high side, and we gotta tap in. You see how easy it is when you play smart, Josiah? Parmesan, baby. So that was a good hole, even on the back 9. Now we got a challenging par 3 coming up. All right, we have 152, which is a stock gap wedge. There's a little bit of wind up there that I'm not too sure. I think it's gonna take a little bit of distance off the ball, but nevertheless, bunker left, bunker right, so accuracy is of the utmost importance here. We got a lot of momentum going with 3 pars in a row opening this up. See if we can take a nice swing on this gap wedge and just knock it on the center of the green. All right, I crushed that. There's a lot of wind up there. Let's see what the wind does to it. They had knocked it down short and right. So that was a dumb butt decision. I knew it was windy. I should have clubbed up there. This is gonna be an opportunity for us to finally get an up and down with the chipper. I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna chip with my 56 degree that's bent to 57. I know mid-round is probably not smart to make a change, but all my chips today have been bad. So this one's gonna give me a little bit more loft. Spin, baby. All right. Best chip of the day. Maybe I should start chipping with this more. This is where scratch golfers perform a lot better than guys who shoot in the 100s or 90s. They make these more consistently. Statistically, even the PGA Tour pros aren't gonna make this every time. This is about an 8-foot putt. I wanna be a scratch golfer. I have to get better at these 8-foot putts and in. Now this putt is a lot more challenging than a straight 8-foot putt because it looks like it's breaking a lot right to left. I'm gonna aim it out at about right here. I'm also taking note that this is downhill and it's gonna break right to left pretty good. All right, so I got a bogey. I'm gonna putt that one more time and play it the right way. I missed it on the low side. We would have had a par. 8 feet and in. If you just draw a circle of 8 feet around the hole, when I'm out practicing putting, that's where I need to be practicing. I need to get good at being able to make those 8-footers and in if I want to get to scratch by the end of the year. There is out of bounds all the way down the left side of this hole. So we are going to aim to the right. And then there's water on the right side starting at 230 yards. So I'm going to hit a 4-iron, which I can hit 230 yards. So I'm going to choke down on it to take some distance off of it and just aim out there to the right. All right, that's pretty much perfect. That's right where I aimed, and that's not going to go 230 yards. So we should have a nice shot in from there. Smart play, smart course management there. We got 138 yards and we have a funky lie here. Aiming at the middle of the green with the gap wedge here. Be good, baby. Be good. Let's go, Josiah. From this junk, that was a good shot. It was right at the center of the green. It went a little bit over the green on the fringe. I'll take that result all day long from that lie. So where my game's been at lately as a 4 handicap is I'm teetering right around 80. I've literally, my last 2 rounds out, I shot an 80. So today I'm at +7 at this stage of the round. So I'm gonna have to par out to break 80. These are the moments that I haven't been capitalizing on, getting up and downs like this. So even though I'm off the green, it would be considered an up and down, but I want to really make sure I get a par here. Come on down, baby. That was pretty straight. Excellent speed though. I just miscalculated the direction. Little left to right, uphill. Let's go, baby. All day.
There we go.
Come on, somebody. Parmesan on the toughest hole out here. This course is a par 71, so I would actually shoot a 78 if I par out. But we have some tough holes down the stretch, so gonna have to stay locked in here. I'm gonna aim right away from the 17th road. I got a 4-iron because it's 233 yards out to the water out there. Another difficult hole. I pulled it left. Get down, ball. Get down. Get down. All right. I went a little bit more left than I wanted to, but it landed soft and it's going to be safe. Even though I pulled that thing so bad, I'm still in play. I actually only missed the fairway by about 1 foot. That was smart for me to be aiming over there. And I missed the shot, meaning I didn't hit it where I wanted to, but I didn't have any out of bounds strokes because of course management, I was aiming so far right. So now we got 181 yards. I got an 8 iron. I'm gonna have to make sure I get it up over that tree. It's right where I was aimed. I hit that really good. All right, should be up there pretty good. That was an 8 iron. The wind was helping us, but I think we're gonna like that one. So we went over the green and there's like a hill here. It probably was just like trickling through here and then it rolled all the way down there. Not ideal. We haven't got an up and down all day long. And this one's what they call short-sided, where there's not much green to work with. So we're gonna have to land it somewhere up in this vicinity, have it trickle out onto the green. Should be pretty good. That should be real good, Josiah. I'll take that all day long. So this one's another right to lefter, downhill, 8 feet.
Oh my word.
Oh man. Well boys, we see where we have to practice. 8 foot and in. This course is a par 71. So I'm +8. So we have 3 holes to go. If we can maintain even on these last 3 holes, we'll break 80. All right, we got 152 yards. Got a pitching wedge here. In golf, coming down the stretch, it's all mental. Your body starts to get tired, and it's so important to stick to your pre-shot routine. It's game time now, baby. Hole 16, 17, 18. It's like 16 at the Masters. Perfect, Josiah. It's going right at it, baby. Let's go. Just slight short on the fringe, but that was right at the pin. Should be in good shape up there. There's a lot of wind. I didn't really calculate that. Can we finally get an up and down? This is about the easiest up and down in the world. There's plenty of green to work with. It's uphill. If the PGA pros came out here, they would get this up and down 9 out of 10 times, guaranteed. Let's knock this up there closer in. Go in, baby. Go in. Oh, man. Let's go. That was the best chip of the day, Josiah. Parmesan. So that built the confidence there. That was a good chip. My goal is to finish even par in these last 2 holes. So let's get dialed in and focus on doing that. All right, we got 206 to the water out there on the left. So I'm going to go with the 6 iron and aim right. Come back a little bit. All right, that's perfect. Right down the right side of the fairway, we'll have a little wedge in. All right, we got 73 yards to the pin, but we got to pay attention to course management here. There's a big old sand trap in front of the green. My goal here is that our next shot is not out of that Siesta Key sand, but it is on the green, putting for a birdie. Spin left. That's really good. This is exciting. I used to chunk those all the time. All right, we got about a 10-footer for the birdie. I'm very happy with how that shot turned out. Analyzing which way this is gonna break. I talked about mastering 8 feet and in. This would just be a bonus. Let's go.
Let's go.
Birdie, baby. Come on. Let's go. Birdie time, baby. 18th hole. Feels good to come off a birdie there. Now there is a hazard to the right, down the right-hand side, and then there's a hazard out to the left. There's ever time for an accurate drive with the hybrid here. That would be now. Perfect. Best drive in a while. That was right down the middle, just side with the draw. Let's go. Come on, somebody. 149. Both of my rounds, my last 2 rounds where I shot 80, I got a triple bogey and I got a double bogey yesterday when I played with Myron Golden and Felipe. Sticking to the routine and making a smart decision. So straight as an arrow, Josiah, right where I'm aimed. Center of the green, golf shot. Let's go. The other thing I got to work on is that tournament mindset. It's bouncing back, it's staying calm. When we got to that 10th hole, I was like, let's get focused, let's get recentered. We've been playing straight up good golf since then. So working on the mindset, staying calm, staying focused, and that's making a big difference. We're going to try to get a nice 2-putt here and then with the 78, finally break 80. That broke more right to left than I thought, but the speed was perfect. So we're inside our 8-foot ring here. See if we can end. If we make it, it's a 78. If we miss it, a 79. We're doing our big $500 PGA Tour Superstore giveaway. Probably announcing that in the next video. All you have to do to be eligible is be a subscriber. So if you've been watching the video, but you're not subscribed, All you have to do is hit that button. We're gonna pick one of you. You're gonna get a $500 PGA Tour store gift card. Another 3-putt. That's a 79. I missed a lot of putts within 8 feet. So my goal is to be a scratch golfer by the end of this year. I can't be missing those putts at that ratio. I missed way more putts from that length today than I made them. I'm okay with the 79 if my goal is to be a 4 handicap, but my goal is to be a scratch golfer. So my practice sessions moving forward is going to be on my chipping and then on putts from this length. That's what I should have done. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you joining this journey. Glad you watched this video, and I hope to catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.